A wonderful day to you, our dear viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Complete Sports Update. My name is Abib Kuranga. This is the show where we'll bring to you the latest and trending stories in the world of sports. Also, Peseiro leaves his role as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Right here, we're going to look at the legacy the 62-year-old Portuguese manager has as the manager of the Super Eagles. We are also going to look at who should replace the man who led Nigeria to the final of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. Should the Nigerian Football Federation prioritize a local-based coach ahead of a foreign manager? These, alongside other exciting topics, shall be discussed right here. Do sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is the Complete Sports Update. Joining me on today's episode is the one and only Adeboye Amosu, and together we shall be taking you through the rounds as far as sports this episode is concerned. Welcome back to the show, Adeboye.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the show.
Okay, so let's get things kicking. Last week it was actually announced that Peseiro will be leaving his role as the gaffer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And right here, we're thinking about the decision. It's something that most Nigerians are actually anticipating as regards to his future. So what do you have to say about Peseiro as a manager?
Well, I think Peseiro leaving the Super Eagles might be a decision most Nigerians will live to regret at the end of the day. Fine, if you look at his antecedent as the Super Eagles coach, we were talking before coming into the studio that international football is quite different from club football. At the club level, you have enough time to train your guys, know each other, the team gelled easily because of the fact that they spend time together. But at the international level, you have guys coming into the team like 2-3 days before a friendly or a competitive game. So you need a lot of time for the team to really gel together. So the Super Eagles didn't really do well in the qualifiers for the 2010-26 FIFA World Cup. We were head to a 1-1 draw by Lesotho in Uyo. Then another 1-1 draw against Zimbabwe in Rwanda. So taking that into cognizance, most Nigerians didn't expect the Super Eagles to make it to the final at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. But against all expectations, the team made it to the final, and they were like 25 minutes away from glory before the Ivorians came back to win the game 2-1. If you look at the gains of the AFCON, the performance of the team, personally I believe Peseiro should stay on, especially if you consider the fact that the World Cup qualifiers is resuming in June, and we have like 3 months thereafter away from the game against Benin Republic and South Africa. So that's my take on that. I believe Peseiro leaving is not a good omen, a good sign, a good timing for the Super Eagles.
Well, those are the words of Adeboye, who said that it's not really a good time to let Peseiro leave. And let's let you know that Peseiro, as the manager of the Super Eagles, actually stayed for 22 months at the helm of affairs, and he led the Eagles to 23 games, winning 11, drawing 4, and losing 7, with a win percentage of 47.8. And to be honest with you, boy, I don't think that's actually a poor record as a manager of the national side. Or do you see that as a poor record?
Well, for me, it wasn't a poor record. But in Nigeria, majority of football fans in Nigeria, we have a lot of coaches in Nigeria. An average football fan in Nigeria is a coach. So, and still at the moment, despite the guy already leaving, there is still a lot of debate about whether he should stay or not. So, like I said earlier, I believe the guy should stay on as the Super Eagles coach. Fine, there are a lot of critics, a lot of football writers, journalists who believe he should go too. But they're also talking about the timing, because you have less than 3 months before the World Cup qualifiers resume. So, and you bringing in a new coach, might backfire at the end of the day.
Yeah. So now, well, the people at the Glass House, the Nigeria Football Federation, will be thinking of who should replace the Portuguese manager right there. And there have been three names that have been, rumored as shortlist candidates. Emmanuel Amunike is the man's assistant in the African Cup of Nations final. That's George Finidi, the current manager of Enyimba FC, and also the interim manager who is the technical director of the Super Eagles team. That's Austin Eguavon, and also I think Sunday Olise was also rumored to be among the shortlist. So now, should the NFF prioritize a local-based coach ahead of a foreign manager?
Well, for me, I think the NFF should go for a foreign manager. It might be a controversial take on this issue because I can say I'm an avid follower of the Super Eagles. I know the team inside out. Going by the antecedents, fine, you look at Amuneke, you look at his past record. He qualified Tanzania for like 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah, it's 9 years.
Yeah, they couldn't qualify for the AFCON. He made it with them. They qualified for the AFCON in 2019 in Egypt. They couldn't make it beyond the group stage. Yeah, you look at his record with other club side too. Well, Finidi George for me, even if you are looking for a local coach, I think for now we should go for Finidi George because he's an insider. He has been with the team for like 2 years now. So for stability's sake, I think Finidi George should be the replacement. Fine, a lot of people are clamoring for Amuneke because of his experience. They believe he has worked with a club side in Egypt, in Nigeria, and other parts of the world. Let me say in Africa. Then with the Tanzanian national team. But the closeness of the next competitive fixture against South Africa and Benin Republic. So if you take that into perspective, I think Finidi George should be a good replacement at this stage for Nigeria.
So no chance for Austin Eguavon or even Sunday Olise?
Well, Eguavon didn't cover himself in glory at the 2021 African Cup of Nations. And the fact that the team lost out in the round of 16, fine, he did well in the group stage. He was trusted with the responsibility of qualifying the Super Eagles for the last World Cup. They played a 0-0 draw against Ghana in Kumasi, but they couldn't beat the Ghanaians. That was why the NFF went for Peseiro again, even though they had an agreement before the AFCON. So his record is nothing to go about. It didn't speak well for him. So, and Olise too. Olise is a temperamental character, and his relationship with the NFF in the past is nothing to write home about. So, I think he's not the best person to take charge of the Super Eagles for now.
Okay, well, for you, the best manager to replace Peseiro will be George Finidi. Yeah. Wow, that's actually an honest take from Adeboyede. And it was also reported few days after the announcement of Peseiro leaving the helm of affairs at the Super Eagles that he is actually waiting for the Super Eagles to also come with a lucrative offer for him. And I think it was rumored that $80,000 was actually placed on the table for him, but he's actually requesting for hoping, let me just put it that way, hoping $120,000 annually. What do you have to say about that? Should the NFF really budge into what he said about the salary demands, or should they move on from him since he has already announced that he will be leaving the Super Eagles?
Well, the biggest problem with the NFF at this moment is they are cash strapped. When Peseiro came in, he was on $70,000 a month. But because of the fact that he was desperate to lead the Super Eagles to the World Cup, after the expiration of his 1-year contract, he was offered a reduction in pay. I think that was $50,000. He accepted that. Now he's not willing to like I heard too, the NFF want him to stay, and they propose a $50,000 salary for him. the man totally rejected it because at this moment, the bargaining power is with him. You can't just discard the man that led the team to the final of a major tournament like the Nations Cup like that. From the $50,000, he's the one paying his assistant himself. So he wants something better this time around. I think if the NFF and Peseiro can sit down and iron it out, an $80,000 salary should be reasonable for him to take. But the biggest challenge is, can the NFF afford that? They will need the support of the sport ministry and some of their sponsors to pay that.
Well, to be honest with you, the Super Eagles, the NFF, and also the manager, will be some sort of a limbo at the moment. And to be honest, we really wish the NFF the very best as regards to picking the right choice of candidates to lead the affairs of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Adeboye, for the in-depth analysis. So, viewers, this is where we'll be wrapping things up as far as proceedings is concerned. Do take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.